fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good thing to say? I doubt people will stand up to something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Rumble, Rockfin, all the places where fine podcasts are sold. I got some stand-up dates coming up. So excited, guys. I will be in Bridgeport, Connecticut in a couple weeks, Thursday, March 23rd at the Stress Factory. I'll be headlining in Keanu. I keep saying Keanu Reeves. Keanu Thompson. One day maybe Keanu Reeves will open for me, but until then, Keanu Thompson is opening for me. And then I'll be headed to New York City Saturday, March 25th. One 8 o'clock show, one 10 o'clock show at the Grizzly Pear, Midtown. Gino Bisconti is hosting. Keanu Thompson is doing a spot, as well as Andrew Harm. So if you're a Compound Media fan, come on out to the show on the 25th in the city. Then I'm headlining the Reef in Staten Island Friday, April 7th at the Reef at Paradise Island. Then I got Jersey Saturday, April 8th in Morris Plains, Tiff's Ale House, also known as the Dojo of Comedy. Then I'm heading to Vegas for the Friday Night Tights Geeks and Gamers meetup on Wednesday, the 26th of April. Then we got my headlining show at the Space in Vegas, Thursday, April 27th. Tickets are flying for this show, so get them now. And if it sells out, then we'll do a late show, and we'll just get weird at the late show. Then I'm heading to Dallas Friday, May 5th and 6th. I'll be headlining at Hyenas Comedy Club the 5th and 6th. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Lila Hart will be opening for me in Dallas and in Vegas. Plus, I'll be doing some appearances at the Blaze the days leading up to it. The days leading up to Hyenas. I'll be doing Alex Stein's show at the Blaze. So tune in for that. And then Alex hopefully will be doing spots on these shows as well. Then I'm heading to Richmond, Virginia, Wednesday, August 9th, headlining the Sandman Comedy Club. Then we got Anime Matsuri in August, the 10th through the 13th at the George Brown Convention Center. Simpcast will be here doing a booth and a panel. And I'm headlining that same weekend, Friday, August 11th at the Secret Group. 7 o'clock show, right after the convention is over. There's still time to drink after. So get your tickets now if you know you're going to be at these conventions. It's going to be fun, guys. You can wear costumes, cosplay. It's not just for girls. Okay. Speaking of girls, this is going to be a very, very girly fun show today. But then also balancing it out, it's going to be girly, but also there's beer involved. So there's something for everyone. So I'm so excited to have her back. She's a full-time adult content creator. She was on the show, gosh, I can't believe it, 2 years ago already now, to talk about her transition from working as an ER nurse to being a full-time OnlyFans gal. I'm so happy she's back with us today to talk about her new adventures. Allie Rae, hello,
Hi.
welcome.
Hello.
Hello, I'm loving your lights. Like your personalized lights back there.
Yeah, thank you. I love them too. I ordered them custom made. They really did a good job. I just picked the first website and they got made. So
okay, and Wet Space is your own website, right?
Yeah, it's actually a platform. So it's like an OnlyFans, but we accept crypto and Visa, MasterCard. So we accept everything, but it's really crypto heavy is really where we let off with it. But yeah, it's my own platform.
Ooh, so what are the benefits to having a crypto, or is it crypto only, or you just also accept crypto?
So we started off crypto only. We accept a lot of different different tokens like, Ethereum, BUSD, et cetera. We accept quite a few, I think like up to like 9 tokens now, but we just added Visa, MasterCard, I'd say in the last month and a half, because creators wanted the option to turn it on. So now we have both, which has been really awesome. People are very excited about that. Still with our focus being crypto, but we do have the option now where people can pay in Visa and MasterCard.
Ooh, you could
Yeah.
always start. You could always start Titcoin, which I keep talking about, which would be for only adult content, but it's not taking off. I'll keep at it. So if you guys don't remember, Allie was here a couple years ago, and she went pretty viral because she used to be a full-time ER nurse, and then basically how I explain the story to people is like a bunch of girls you worked with caught wind of your OnlyFans side hustle, felt threatened, jealous, reported you, and then you basically like get fired from your ER nurse position for just having an OnlyFans, because guys wouldn't do this sort of thing. I feel like I just quietly enjoy the content, on the side, and then see what worked the next day. Be like, what's up, Allie?
Yeah, it was horrible. It was like really hard in the moment, obviously going through it. I was an ICU nurse actually, and I loved my job. And I didn't plan on leaving, but unfortunately they had other plans for me. They really went out of their way. I mean, when it says Mean Girls, like it's not an exaggeration. It was very, very choreographed, orchestrated in a very vindictive way. And they really, really went hard on it. And so, yeah, I did. I lost my job, and now they're short staffed and miserable, and it is what it is.
Good. Fuck them.
And I'm fucking doing the thing. So
yeah, you're thriving.
I wasn't as like content with it when last time we spoke. I was still a little bit kind of, like I lost something.
Yeah.
But now it's like
it was a big deal.
Yeah, my life is doing great. So
it was very unfair and very fucked up what happened to you.
Yeah.
Do you ever like sort of check in on these girls and like see like what's going on with them? Or
no, but I did have one reach out to me. I think she was reached out to apologize to being a part of it. I think it was more like, please God, don't like name drop me in the press. I think she was getting worried that maybe I start naming girls off, and she didn't want to be a part of that. Because the hospital and nurses took a lot of heat for that, like for the mean girl aspect of it. And I had a lot of people rally around me. So I think that was her motive. She was the one of 5 that reached out, which I'm grateful for. But the others, I'm sure they're still nursing, still miserable, still the same Karens. It is what it is. So.
Whatever. This is like, I think this is better for you.
Yeah, I feel
you
younger.
Still have those skills. You still have those skills. Like if somebody's like bleeding in the street, I'm sure you would be like, oh, I got you. I got a Band-Aid. That's what I think nurses do, is essentially walk around with first aid kit.
Here we are. No, I'm so much happier now. I feel like I've raced years off my life. Nursing is so hard, and like I did this for 9 to 10 years. It's just a lot. So I feel like I can do what I want. I have more fun. My work is more lighthearted now. It's a huge change for me. Huge change.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah. And then and now you have, and you see scrolling below, follow Allie at onlyallieray.com, and her Instagram is at the Allie Rae. So when did you start Tap That?
So it's actually crazy is when I was a nurse, the whole way that I got into social media was I love craft beer. Like I always have. And so I was actually reviewing craft beers on an Instagram with like, I don't know, 89 people at that point. And those were the people that were like, you would kill it if you started an OnlyFans. And they just
the beer people.
Yes. So they would always say this, and I just would ignore it. And so it's really cool now that I have Tap That. I started it about 7 months ago. It's always kind of what I wanted to do then, that I never would have had the money to do it at that scale and at that level. And so it's kind of like full circle, going back to where my roots were and what kind of got me started in social media before I even did what I did on OnlyFans. So it's really cool. And it's truly what I love doing. And so it's just fun, an extra side. I think a lot of people, they don't see much more about me or get to know those things about me. And, craft beer is such a huge part of my life. And so just got it picked up on OFTV now. So my episodes can be found there, and also Facebook. YouTube's been a slower start, but we're up to like 30,000 followers on between Facebook and OFTV. So it's growing, and I'm really loving harvesting this craft beer community because it's just really cool. I've been to so many breweries. I'm meeting people. I'm getting to travel and kind of get the behind the scenes of what goes into making beer. And it's very interesting stuff. So I really enjoy it.
Well, I hope everybody hops on over to subscribe to Tap That. Let me see. Is this a quickie preview that I can play for folks?
Wow,
Yeah.
we're breaking records today.
Oopsie. I'm going to put it on full screen so it looks better.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's my favorite beer.
The quality of this is incredible. Okay, I'm switching the screens to YouTube.
Yeah,
You
we have a full-time videographer now, and we have an editing team. So
This
it's
is
a lot of fun.
beautiful. Okay, so this is Louisiana's finest Abita Beer Bubblegum Juicy IPA Craft Beer Review with Allie Rae. Oh my God, this looks fantastic.
You got my #1 hard iced tea. Now you have my #1 IPA. We're going to Abita Brewing. We're going to Covington. Welcome to Brown.
Wow.
Clearwater Beach.
This is so fun.
This is the best I've had. It's very, very good. I might actually like this better than Highlight. Welcome back to another episode of Tap That. I'm Allie Rae.
This
We're
is
at
so
Brown
great. So how do you
Clearwater Beach.
figure out
I am trying Abita Brewing, which
how to do these
I
episodes?
So I have like a system, like with my rating, I definitely rate the beers on a scale of 1 to 5. But as far as like the episodes, I go to Total Wine in the beginning, and I would just buy every single beer that I mean, all different kinds and types. And then we would go to shoot and like do 15 to 20 episodes. We try to shoot in a day. They're like, 2 to 5 minutes. They're not very long. And now I have so many breweries sending me beer. I mean, I'm picking up every day, just boxes of beer. So now I'm basically doing what's sent to me first, and then I'll go and buy, other things that I want to get my hands on, new releases and such. But yeah, I mean, and it's really cool because I'm finding stuff that I never would have probably got my hands on, now that I have breweries actually sending me stuff from out of state and more. And it's just very cool. So that's, yeah. And so I go in and we do a little taste. It's very casual. Like I said, we have our full-time videographer, Jordan. He's awesome. He likes to try them. My husband likes to try them. So they kind of sometimes play into the rating and such, especially if I give it a bad rating. Like if I really don't like it, I'm like, can you guys try it? Because maybe they can redeem themselves. But no, I'm not afraid to tell the truth. I've definitely rated some a 1. I don't always, even if they sent it to me, I'm always honest. So.
And that's what's good about being now known for this, because it's exactly what you said. People can send you like, okay, we're a super small brewery, or we make super small batches of things that you can't buy, in a mainstream grocery store.
And it's really cool for small businesses. Like I like using my platform to be able to help a small business out. Like the brewery is just like the ultimate of that. And they really do put a lot of time and art into it. So I know it's cool for them. They may not have the means to go hire some, influencer or someone to actually market their product, but I'm just trying their beer. They're not, you don't have to pay me for that. I'm just trying beers and giving my honest reviews. So I do enjoy being able to help them out as well. It's really cool.
Okay, good. So if there's not like, $100 bill underneath one of the beer tabs.
No, I always tell them, send me stuff, but I am honest. I'm definitely honest. We had a couple episodes sponsored by Manscaped. So, obviously there was definitely some money made there, but it's, everything else with the beer.
I also like my beer without pubes. So I agree with you there. You got to Manscape. It's very important.
Right.
Wow. I'm with you on that, because I went to this event called, I think it was called Sip That or Sip This. It was in like upstate New York, and it was a whole selection of like fancy, funky beers. I keep defaulting to the word artisanal because I don't know any other words to describe them, but small batch brews and wine and stuff. And it was really great. And you find something you like, it feels good to support a local business, a small business, to give them your money. And especially if you like it, you can just buy a bunch. And they ended up sending a box of stuff. One of the God, I can't remember their name, but they ended up sending a box of booze to the content house we did most recently in Orlando. So it was so good. They had like an excellent vodka. They had like a ginger flavored vodka I really loved. I think it was called, I can't remember. I have a t-shirt over in a pile.
That's super cool. Yeah, I
remember
love it. I mean, I think I've had a lot of people reach out and be like, I just order a Coors Light and I move on with my day. And they're like, now I go to a restaurant, it's kind of cool. Like, do you have an IPA on tap? They love like trying new things. And they said that I've really opened their eyes to like make it a little bit of an experience, just try something new. I mean, it's $4, $5, you know what I mean? It's a beer. So it's kind of, it makes things a little bit funner. But yeah, a lot of people reach out to me and say, you've like made me want to try craft beer. And I'm like, I love that. That's so cool.
What do you say to this people who say IPAs are gay?
I mean, look, everybody has their taste. Like, I'm not a huge like porter or stout person, or like an IPA is just, it has a very distinct taste. It can be very bitter for people. And so it's not for everyone. Same thing with like sours. And there's just like so many different styles. So that's what's great about beer, is that if you don't like one thing, you may like another style of beer. And so IPAs aren't for everyone, but they're absolutely my favorite. Like, I'm obsessed, but they're usually very high alcohol content. So a lot of people don't like drinking them a lot. Yeah.
Now I'm listening. Yeah, we got an IPA hate chat here.
You have some of my favorites.
Wow, this is so neat. Do you remember your first beer?
I do. It's actually, we have it here tonight.
No way.
It was the hazy little. It was
one.
this one. The hazy little thing was my first IPA that I tried. I can't say first beer. I probably had like a Bud Light or something in high school. But the first craft beer I ever tried was Sierra Nevada's hazy little thing. And this is just a really good one. I really like it.
Should I get like a cup to like pour this into, or should I just drink it straight out of the can?
Well, and proper tasting, Christy, you have yourself a little Tiku glass. But if you don't have that, you can
get one. If you want to vamp for a minute, I can go get one. Okay.
This is a good tasting glass.
Vamp, give them important background info.
Okay, so in proper tasting, which I'm going to teach Christy as well. In proper tasting, we're going to check out, this cup is good because it helps with you can check the aromas. You can swirl, so you can kind of get it up and smell it first. It's kind of like wine tasting, but in wine rating, but not exactly the same. And then, you want to be able to look at it. So you always want a clear glass. And this is just if you're trying to be proper. If you're not trying to be proper, you can just chug it out of the can, which I do 99% of the time. The only time I really use the glass is if I'm doing an actual rating, which I want to make sure I give the beer and the brewery like full, like respects. And so I can rate the color, the look, the head, and all the fun things. So that's the significance of a Tiku glass. But this beer in particular was my favorite because it was an IPA, and I felt kind of like a bad girl. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm drinking an IPA. And I actually liked the flavor of this one a lot. It was an easier drinker. It wasn't very high, like in its IBUs. And so for me, that's why this one was my first and kind of my gateway. It's like the gateway drug to IPAs, Chrissy. You're screwed now.
I was holding so many different cups, and I was like, you know what? Let me try my hardest to find the exact same cup that you had. So I think this is for cordials.
Oh, that'll work. It'll
okay.
It's pretty. You can see, we want to be able to see the color and stuff. So that's why.
This is covered in maybe dust from Christmas. Who knows? We're gonna give it the old wipe down.
I love it.
Can you guess what my first beer was? You probably can guess.
Bud Light, Budweiser.
A 40 of Old E.
Oh my gosh, a 40.
Yeah.
Of course it was. Where'd you grow up? Did you grow up in New York?
Yes, Long Island.
Long Island. All right.
I had my first beer at Hempstead Lake State Park at night. I think I might have been fingered at the same time by our football team's fullback. I don't know. These are fond memories.
Of course. It's a great thing. You remember them very vividly.
I was looking enough to score the quarterback, but I was like, fine.
I'll take it 40. Yeah. I love it. I probably had like a Budweiser, like one of my dad's growing up, or some kind of like Texas Shiner Bock. It was probably some like disgusting beer. Probably my actual beer.
My dad, growing up, my dad only drank Heineken's in the green bottle. So there would just be like tons of green bottles laying around all the time. So I just, I don't know if all kids do this, but it's like, you go, okay, that's like, you associate that with your dad. You're like, it's like kind of one of the last things I would drink would just be like, sure, a Heineken. Because I'm like, that's dad's beer. And then he got into like Beck's, now Stella. So he'll kind of drink. I'll drink a Stella probably, but I just like, there's something about Heineken that I just really is very, closely reminds me of my childhood and seeing like 10 of them laying on the ground.
Right.
Anyway, good times.
Sometimes. Like just beer everywhere.
Imagine this fun beer episode like just devolves into like a therapy session about my alcoholic dad.
We're like on number 2 tasting. We're like, and it was the 90s, and we're having like a moment.
What's happening to the world?
That's
So is this the one
hilarious.
we should start with, or
Let's start with it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of good questions from the chat.
Let's hear 'em.
Please give Allie your beer questions. She is the expert. I only can answer questions about vodka and wine. So Douglas
Yes.
Dauntless asks, what is the worst beer?
Okay, so for me, should I blast someone? Which
Yes.
one did I absolutely? I'm looking at my rating because I log my ratings. I'm trying to find one I gave like a 1 to that was just absolutely horrible. I did not like well, I don't know. Everyone likes something different though, because some of these sours that I rated really bad, someone might have rated well.
Okay, but for you,
I will tell you, I'm about done with pumpkin beers because I did so many pumpkin beers for the month of October that I'm over it. Like it's too much. Like I can't do another pumpkin beer again. I really feel like I'm.
how different
pumping
could they
out.
point? It's like how many different pumpkin spice lattes can they possibly make?
I know. That's one that was rated bad was by, I think it's Left Hand's pumpkin spice latte. And I was like, this was a disappointment because you said PSL and anyone bought that wanted to get some variation of that. And it was not that. And I was like, I'm big about cans and their branding. Like if you say there's watermelon in it, damn it, there better be watermelon in it or I'm already pissed. Like, so that really disappointed me. Left Hand.
Okay.
Do better next year. So.
Okay. Good to know. Okay. All right. So we got this. So when you're tasting a beer,
okay. Yeah.
you're not just supposed to chug the whole thing back. I'm just gonna
pour it in here. Yeah.
Just a little bit. Does it have to breathe like wine?
Yeah, let's let it breathe. Let's look at the head. We all, the head is important.
Look at the head. This crowd understands the importance of good head.
My head, that is beautiful. That's a beautiful.
My head is a little bit smaller, but like that's kind of to be expected.
Right. It's just.
I wonder if it has to do with
my tip is skinnier, so I think. Okay. Yeah.
So the tip does matter.
Right. Oh, everything matters. Every inch. Okay. And then you want to like smell it and tell me what do you smell like first? Like what?
It smells really good.
It's juicy, huh?
It smells like fresh fruit. It smells like it reminds me of other beers that I really like. I really like Hoegaarden. I really like the Belgian beers.
Yeah.
What's the other one called? They're really high alcohol content. Shoot, what's it called?
Like a double IPA or an imperial or?
Yeah, it might be imperial. The one with the pink elephant on it.
Oh, the Delirium. Yeah. Delirium,
yes.
Red and black. I got to try both at a festival. Delirium red and black. They were good. So I smell like tropical, just like oranges, peachy, a lot of pineapple, maybe a little banana. It's good.
What do you smell? Do you smell something bad in between to like cleanse the palate? Like would you go, all right, armpit, let me try it again?
Well, some people at festivals walk around with pretzels all over their neck. I didn't know about that. I forgot, so I just steal their pretzels off their neck.
Yeah.
And like, okay, this random chick.
You're like, look, I can't have anything blocking this cleavage. Okay, I can't be wearing this pretzel necklace.
Exactly. So yeah, pretzels. I think people cleanse their palate, but so okay. So then you can taste.
Do you switch?
If you want to. This one's not very bitter. The IBUs on this are very low. I'm not going to look at my stats, but this is a 6.7% alcohol. So it's actually a nice medium IPA. It's a hazy. Hazies are typically more tropical, juicy. They're cloudy like that.
This is very light. And I know people know I'm on keto. We're pausing it for this show because I didn't want to be, you know what I mean? It would be so rude to not be trying these along with Allie.
Right.
So keto will resume in the morning.
Yeah, this is definitely non-keto. Do you taste like the bitterness a little bit?
Yeah. I like how like the first sip, like the bubbliness kind of just like lays across your whole tongue like a blanket, and it's
Yeah,
very light.
right. I think this is a light IPA, very like intro IPA, and that's why I say it's like safe for someone to try. It's also not that high in alcohol content. So
Yeah.
like I said, I enjoy this one. It's not like my favorite. It's not in my top 5 by any means, but I think it's good. My favorite one is Bubblegum Juicy IPA by Abita Brewing, the episode you just showed, and it tastes like freaking bubblegum.
Bubblegum.
It's actually amazing. Yes.
That sounds like something people would judge and say this is clearly marketed for kids or teens or
Right. Yeah, I can see that. Abita's
a non-adult palate.
it's really good though. It's and the label looks like juicy fruit. It's just it was really good. It was a good find. I was excited when I found it.
Do certain areas make better beer than others?
Oddly enough, some of my top ones are from Louisiana. So another one is Dr. Juice by Parish Brewing is one of my favorites. And then that happens to be in Louisiana. And then Abita Brewing is out of Covington, Louisiana. So I don't know. I think to argue that, and one of the greatest beers of all time, Ghost in the Machine, is from Parish Brewing. So I'd say Louisiana knows what they're doing with their beer. I would definitely say they do.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Where are some other? Oh, there was a question I forgot. Oh, here it was. What's the best beer to shotgun? You know, Allie's not out here shotgunning beers, okay?
Well, I did. I did it in a bikini, Chrissy. I did it on my Instagram. And you want to know what I shotgunned?
Wow.
An IPA.
It's like he knew.
An IPA. It was a pretty epic moment. I probably should have did a Bud Light, but I decided to shotgun an IPA.
Yeah, I feel like would you describe this as hoppy? I hear people say hoppy to describe beers. I just don't know what that means.
So I would not consider this one very hoppy. When you look at the IBUs, like usually when you go to a restaurant, it'll tell you how much ABV, which is how much alcohol, and then it'll say IBU. The higher the IBU, it's going to be more hoppy. I feel like this might be in the 50s, maybe 60s. I don't remember offhand. But like I've tried some that are like 80s, 90s. That's pretty bitter, and that tastes very hoppy. This is like a middle range average IPA. So I wouldn't consider this too hoppy. I bet you maybe this little something something or one of these highlight will be a little more hoppy. Yeah.
I always thought IBU meant you had gastrointestinal problems.
That's IBS, baby. That's IBS. Big difference.
This beer is giving me so much IBS right now.
That's a problem for some people. Some people, they say they can't drink beer, just like coffee, that they get stomach ache.
That's horrible.
I feel bad for them. I really feel bad for them. I really do. They're missing out.
They really are. This is so neat. People are asking for promo codes.
For the beer. Oh, I have no affiliation with Sierra Nevada. I wish. Is that what they mean by promo codes?
Yeah, maybe. Everybody's looking for a coupon code here.
Well, the good thing about the beers we're trying today is that you can find them, I promise you, in your local town. These are like big name brands that are going to be in anyone's Total Wine. They're easy to find. These are craft beer breweries. Well, Sierra Nevada is, but technically not these others. I think a lot of people don't know. I'll hit you with some facts. Most craft beers now are owned by Anheuser-Busch. They're bought out by AB. So if you ever hear someone talk about, oh, that's not really craft beer, they're bought out by AB, that means Anheuser-Busch bought them out. And that is incredibly common, like so common, almost probably all the craft beers, like I said, High Life's bought out, New Belgium, all these are bought out. They were craft breweries and they still market themselves that way, but it's a little marketing trick. So Sierra Nevada, I think, is technically still craft, but they're very large craft, very big.
Does something get lost when a like a craft company gets bought out, or not really?
Yeah, it does. And it's all about shelf space. You know, they need that shelf space, and craft beer just blew up, right? Like everyone, their mom had a brewery and it was taking up all the shelf space in these stores. So it was easier for Anheuser to come in and say, we'll buy your little local brewery out, and so we can have that space to sell that beer and move on. And so that's what happened. And yeah, their quality gets lost a little bit. Cigar City's High Life. Cigar City's they're out of Tampa, and they're bought out now by a bigger company, not Anheuser, but another one. I forget which one. But their quality, I don't feel like is really gone at all. And so I think it just depends who's still working ownership or who's still a big part of the development of the beer and the creative side. But
Okay,
for the most
cool.
part, yeah.
What are your thoughts on Belgian beer?
Belgium, like a Belgium white, I like that. Something maybe like a tangerine or an orange. I like something like that for sure. That'd be yummy.
Okay.
Especially in this summer, like to have a tangerine wheat or a Belgium white is yummy. It's always good. I don't typically like darker beers at all. Not at all. Actually, I don't care. I'll try them on my show because I want to be fair, and I don't rate them all terribly, but I'm not a huge fan of them. I'm really more of an IPA or light beer girl.
Me too. If I had to, like, I've tried Guinness and I really want to give it a fair shot, but it just seems like way too heavy. Like I'm just drinking a whole meal.
Literally a meal. Like so heavy. Like add the cream and sugar and let's just make it into a malt at that point.
Yeah. How is not every Irish person obese? It blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
My God, you just drank that whole thing. Okay.
You can pour some back into your can if you want to be safe. We have others to try. You can't drink the whole thing.
I'm doing oh my God, this is gonna be backwash brewery.
You're gonna do your keto. You can't do
Pour it no,
we won't pour as much for the next one.
Okay.
We're gonna pour less.
Okay.
But yeah, girl, I could take that beer down.
Oh, I know you could. Okay. Now which one's up next? And is this like a wine tasting thing where the order actually matters with a beer tasting?
Not really, because these are all the same style. We probably should have maybe chosen different styles, but I don't know what you could get your hands on where you're at versus where I'm at. So this is fine since they're all IPAs. So we can do High Life next, which that's how it's pronounced. High Life.
Oh, I called this one JLA.
You sure did. JLA.
I'm like, is this Indian?
So High Life was a sport. It was like some kind of sport they played. I don't know. And I think it was from Spain. And yeah, that's all I know about that.
7.5% alcohol by volume.
Oh, yeah. But look at IBU 65. See, it tells you on.
Okay.
So this is stronger.
This one is 6.7. So this is going to get you more fucked up.
Yeah. So just a little. Don't pour your whole cup.
That's not why we're here, guys. We're not here to get fucked up. We're here to taste. Oh, no. I foamed. Okay.
You're going to have to lick it off.
I'll do it in the least sexy way possible. Oh, okay. I enjoyed the foam there. Okay. Let me do a little JLI. Highlight.
You're so funny.
Okay. We're sloshing it. We're smelling it. Okay.
Okay. So this is going to be more IBUs, a little more bitter. Okay.
A little more bitter, which means this beer has been single for much longer than the other beer.
This beer is sold in, I can guarantee, almost every single major restaurant in the state of Florida. This is a very popular beer, and it's all over the country.
It's an India Pale Ale. So would this Pale Ale be able to give me IT support or maybe help me if I forgot my password?
This 7.5% India Pale Ale is likely to have you just very creative. And yeah, it's going to give you a lot.
I feel like this Pale Ale wants to see Bob's and Vagine. Okay.
Right.
Enough joking. I'm going to smell it.
This is not a hazy. This is going to be a straight IPA, like a traditional IPA.
I don't smell as much fruity notes.
There's just orange. I smell just orange.
Where do you smell orange?
I don't know. I have a nose for this.
I'm so afraid I'm gonna drown. Like this is the way that I'll die. Is that I'm gonna drown by like sniffing a beer. Like I'll just stick my nose.
I would love to be buried with beer. That would be so so nostalgic. Okay, let's. It does smell orangey.
Okay, I think I like this one better. It feels heavier.
And a little bit more bitter. That's those IBUs. Yeah, it's a little more just kind of hoppy. Hoppy, there's your word. This I would say is slightly hoppy.
Yes, it's hoppy.
Hoppy.
What is that flavor at the end? Like dirt?
The bitter, that's the hops. So I think they brew with Citra hops. So there's a lot of different types of hop. It's supposed to be, here we go. It tells you on the can. Clementine, orange peels, caramel malt, creating an IPA that's bold and approachable. It's very citrus forward.
Ooh. Bold and approachable, like me and Allie. Cigar City Brewing. Okay. Do they make cigars also there?
No, but Tampa's known as Cigar City. Maybe they used to. They're the largest brewery in this.
Tampa is wild. Every time I've done a show in Tampa, there's always people, there's always swingers in the audience. They're all sexual deviants. Every last one of it. You tampons like really know how to party.
Oh, it's so fun here. I love it. I would never leave. Never leave.
Oh, is that where you live now? Makes sense. It's all coming together.
Wild people live in wild place. No, it's just beautiful and it's sunny all the time. And let's just be real about it, Chrissy. There are no state taxes, honey. So I really had to get that. I think the last time we spoke, that was top of mind is how am I going to be where there's no state taxes? And so that.
Were you in Massachusetts before?
Boston, yep.
Yes, I have such a memory like a steel trap.
Yes. Yeah. So Florida is just, it's just like a good place for
everything.
Businesses, everything.
Freedom.
Did we mention freedom? I feel like that's probably the most important aspect of here too.
Look, guys in the chat who want me to take my sweater off, we're gonna need to see some super chats for this because this is supposed to be my low key beer stream, and the focus is on Allie here.
Well, sorry.
I'm loving it. The look is great. So I don't know why. I like them both, but
you prefer.
I think I like this one a tiny bit better.
Okay. It's just more hoppy. Now, mind you, when you take something on tap in a bar, everything's going to taste better on tap, like on draft, than it does in a can. Can you do lose some stuff because you don't know in the shipping process what temperatures. I have a beer cellar that I keep mine exactly at 52 degrees, but you don't know. So you can lose flavor. So definitely ordering something in a bar on draft is always going to taste better.
No matter what. Okay.
Unless they have dirty draft lines. That's just disgusting. You probably shouldn't even eat there.
How can you tell if someone has a dirty draft line?
If the beer just tastes funky or like it's flat, doesn't have a lot of carbon. I don't know. Sometimes like people, you can tell they just don't take care of it. Usually the water tastes bad,
Okay. How am I feeling this after what seems like a third of a beer?
Because you're on keto and you're having IPAs.
Because normally this is what I'm drinking. This is my world. And not that I'm here to, hawk for Truly, but like I do the hard seltzer and you drink the whole thing. You have 3, you don't feel anything. So
no, I think those are like 4 or 5%. They're pretty low. They're like
5%. 5%. And then they have White Claws that they have like super, like the date rape White Claws that have like 9%. I haven't tried those yet. I should. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I think White Claw really turned me off because it tastes like feet. It's like it tastes like foot water. But you're like, oh, this is healthy. So you just keep drinking them. And then I found Truly and I was like, okay, well, these are clearly better.
Didn't you go on Drinking Bros podcast too?
Yes. And you've done theirs too recently, right?
They have their seltzer is very, very good. And it's freaking 8%. The hardest.
They have like a strawberry shortcake flavor. What's it called? Hard AF seltzer. It's very, very good. I wish I could get it out here in New York, but
I know. I took so much back with me. I was on their podcast too, and I seen you had just been on there. I was like, oh, Chrissy was on there. It's awesome.
It's fun. How gorgeous is their set? It's so amazing and
it's like a machine in there. They've got everybody. I was like, this is like so cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I want to have a studio like this one day.
It was huge. Yeah, there was like multiple sets. I was like, where are we sitting?
You're just like, ooh, there's like toys and pieces of flair all around you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's fun to see different sets.
For sure. No, they definitely do a lot of great work. Are you with me, Chrissy? Still in
I
there?
am with you. I'm with
Okay.
you. I'm with you. I'm just like, I feel like I'm a different person now. Like I've never really been a beer person.
You're trying new things. Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
so maybe we just do one more then. So you're not
No,
too
I'm down. I'm down. Let's
you're
do
like,
this.
I broke the keto. We're going all out tonight. Okay.
Yeah, I bought all these cans, and
Oh,
I'm gonna bring. I bought actually like 6 and 12 packs of everything, so I'm just gonna bring them all to a friend's party on Saturday.
awesome. You'll have to let me know when you do your next content house. I'd love to come. I feel bad.
Yes, Allie. Yes. Oh my god.
Oh,
I
it's
think
so much fun. I watched so much of it. I was like, I could have been there.
you should have. You're definitely gonna come to the next one. We're gonna
For sure.
look at Texas. We're gonna look at Tennessee.
Love it.
Really, anywhere where they'll have us is where we'll go.
Right.
Anywhere with a pool. All right, so we have. Tell me what's next.
Let's do the Voodoo Ranger.
Belgium.
New Belgium's the name of the brewery. This isn't a Belgian beer. That's the name of the brewery. So, but that's okay. This is Juice Force IPA. It's another hazy.
Juice Force.
Juice Force, and it's coming in hot. Let me see what the stats are because the stats are important. Okay, now, baby, this is 9.5%. We are moving up in volume. Shit, what's the log?
Okay.
Let's set. We'll move back down with the other. So this is 9.5. This is a pretty good little.
It's a big can. They only had the big cans. So
Oh, well, just pour a little. This is gonna.
If I were to put this, because I'm a person who is into leftovers, what if I were to just stick this little Betty in the fridge? Can I drink it tomorrow or no?
You can, but it's going to be flat. But like, if you're just looking for like, I want to get drunk right now, you could save it. It'll be like,
Oh, so alcoholism. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, totally. So this
I'm just doing this much.
I don't think I rated this one very good. I'm going to be real. I don't remember. I had it at a festival, so I don't even think it's on my list. I had it at a festival, and I think I was just kind of like, but it's a hazy, so we'll see.
What does hazy mean? That's how I'm going to feel after I drink this?
Yeah, that's for sure. But it's like a style of an IPA that's a little more like cloudy and it's unfiltered. And so it's usually more tropical and juicy.
Oh.
In this case, this is an Imperial Hun. So this is 9.5%. This is crazy talk.
Like the champagne of beers.
Yeah, this is a good one. Okay,
so
the smell is different to me.
Ooh, whoa.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know.
It smells like a kumquat. Have you ever had a kumquat?
I have a kumquat tree out back. Yes, I know what that is. Or like a little kumquat plant.
Yeah, it smells like a little kumquat.
It's a little cummy quat.
It's like a little lemony, a little orangey.
And then a kumquat at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what it tastes like. I got a bubblegum flavor there for a second.
Oh my God, what is that?
Why is that not hoppy? Is it my can?
No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
It's not happening. Yeah, mine's a little flat. See, I told you I had this at a festival. I wasn't that impressed, but at a festival, I never try to be too mean because they transported it all there. So I don't know what temperature it came in.
It just ends. Like you taste it and then all of a sudden it's over. Yeah. Like it's flavor and then it's like, we're done.
Like, where's the force? Where's the fucking force? It says, I mean, it's got a guy on here. Like, there's nothing voodoo about this.
No.
But that's the problem though, Chrissy, is it's 9.5% and it just rolls off the tongue like that. It's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if when they were making this beer, they're like, you know what? Screw the hops. Let's just make something that's going to get our dates real drunk.
Right.
And then the Voodoo Ranger comes in and fingers them on the couch. I don't know.
And then like just an hour later, just fucks you raw.
I think I'm on a big fingering kick. Like, I think I want to bring back fingering.
You've brought it up a few times. What's funny is I don't know that I have a video of just straight fingering, which might be kind of hot. You're giving me like a lot of ideas.
Let's go back to like just fingering. Cause I remember my junior prom date, Tom Tracy, if you're out there, if you're watching this.
Oh, he's watching, it.
I don't know. I haven't heard or seen from him in years. Whereas like my other exes, I vaguely sort of know what they're all up to and it's nothing impressive. But like Tom Tracy, oh my God, I think he might have been my first love. He took me to junior prom. He went to Chaminade, and I was just smitten with this boy. And I had like pictures of him in my locker, like printouts. And
did he know you had all that up in there in your locker?
no, I mean he went to the old boys' school, and I went to a public school, so we did not cross stream at all. And that was just like a big deal. It was a big deal to date somebody from Chaminade, in my opinion, because it was all boys. And then you get to go to these Chaminade dances where you would like lean against the wall and like whoop, you'd slide off because the walls would be wet. Like for some reason, everybody's in there sweating, just teenagers sweating, and the walls of the gym were just wet, and you would like slide off. But it was like so exciting because you were like, wow, boys. And they weren't like the stupid boys from your school. They were like new, fresh boys.
Right.
So you'd be like, wow, like it's just like exciting. And like, I don't know. I didn't really feel like boys liked me at my high school. So what was the point of bringing this up? Oh yeah, we would just hang out in the basement and get fingered, and that's all there was to it. It was like a simpler time, and like that was enough.
It was a simpler time. And so like your parents thought they were just dropping you off at the dance, you know, and you're really just getting fingered in the basement. That's so hot.
Well, separately, the dance happened. We did dance, but additionally, like when we hung out, it was a lot of getting fingered in the basement.
Wow. That's like a good scenario for a play out for a video. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Like remember what was hot when you were like in high school.
Yes.
Well,
like
I was also a prude.
Yeah. Well, I got married at I just turned 18. So I was like 17, like basically. We got married super young, and I remember everything like it was yesterday. Like I remember the first thing. I remember what I was wearing the first time we had sex. I remember it. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Isn't that romantic?
You remember specific details. Like I remember when I lost my virginity to a roadie from Rusted Root. His name was Steve-O, and he cut the sleeves off his t-shirt.
Of course.
And this is already after there was already a Steve-O from Jackass. Like he was already out. This guy is still going on referring to himself as Steve-O, and there's already a more famous Steve-O that's not
with the cutoff shirt.
That's not a roadie for Rusted Root. And he sweat. What I remember is he'd be on top of me, and he sweat so much. Like I could feel like I was afraid to even like touch him because it would just be like very sweaty. And we did it on Maureen Morrison's futon.
Wow.
And then she kind of unfriended me after that, like IRL unfriending. And I was like, I was not planning for it to happen at all. I didn't wake up that day on October 3rd.
No.
And thought to myself, I'm going to lose my virginity tonight to a roadie. No, it just
happened. But like, what a story though, you know, it's like, it's a story to tell. It really is.
Yeah. Do you know, I literally lost my virginity almost like an astronaut because he was laying on his back and I was laying on my back too. And then because we're both laying on our backs, and somehow I also on my back, I just like went like this, like went on top of him, like literally just like lost my virginity backwards, like we were launching into space or something. Like we're both looking up at the sea. I don't know how it happened. It was the
he knows how it happened. He had a plan.
I did not have a plan because I told him after it was over. I was like, Steve, that was my first time. He was like, what?
It just slipped in.
I took as the biggest compliment. Like my ego was like, I'm amazing at this. Yeah.
That's freaking hilarious.
It was a Houdini. Yeah, he pulled a Houdini.
He did. He pulled a smooth one.
It was bad. And then he had to take me to CVS the next morning because we didn't have anything. We didn't plan
nothing.
Which just to be careful. Like nothing happened, but I just was like, I need a plan B. This was sex.
Right. This is like legit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I know. It's hard to imagine like back then, like if you were gonna like date someone or see someone, like you can't like scope out their socials first. You just had to like just go off face value or like word of mouth. Like nowadays,
you had to just get to know somebody with no internet history.
It's crazy. Do you remember? Were you a MySpace user?
Yeah, I was an OG early adapter MySpace user. It came out. I think I might have been like senior in college or something. And it was at the time. No, that's Facebook. Wait,
Yeah, it was
MySpace
earlier
was
than that.
before Facebook, right?
Like 2003, 4, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was
Early.
on
Me
MySpace
too.
for sure. I had a top 8. I had a background song.
Did you have a layout? Did you make a layout in your background?
No, I didn't want to distract from my essence. Like I didn't want to. I
Yeah.
didn't get into the layouts.
That was my first, like, when I knew that I was meant to be like a little entrepreneur. I had like a little business. I was called, brace yourself, I was called Pixie Dust Layouts, and I made layouts for
I know
girls.
exactly how this looks.
I
Like sparkly to the point where you can't even read it.
Yes, I made layouts for people. They would order for them for me. I made $0. I just did this shit for free.
You
But
were
I
a
was like
layout
very
girl.
well
Wow.
known in my layout community. Absolutely.
Wow. That's really fascinating. And that definitely speaks to your entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes, that's when I knew I was an entrepreneur. And then my next little gig was I started selling on Poshmark. That I did very well in. That's what
Ooh,
yeah.
that's very cool.
So I'd go thrifting and then flip it and sell it on Poshmark.
I was a bad thrifter. I loved thrift stores. Like for years, I would just buy all my clothes at thrift stores. And then I would realize, like, why do I always look like shit? It's because I would choose bad items from the thrift store. I'd be like, wow, a $5 shirt, but that's not always the shirt you should get.
It's a good
Yeah.
deal though. I'm still a little sales. I love a good bargain. Like I just love it. If it's the
Yeah.
right price, I love it.
You have to know how to shop though. Like you can't just buy the cheapest thing. It's not going to always serve you.
No, it's
It
not.
would look like I just rolled out of a garage sale a lot for many years. So I had to.
You might have literally been wearing all, like you said, you know.
Mhm.
But some stuff you can.
Yeah, I'd be like, did someone die in this?
Right. You never know. My
it's
thrifting,
all-
or get fingered like in the basement in this.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, oh, it's vintage. It's like, no, it's just old, bad.
yeah.
Okay, I'm enjoying this.
You like it? It's
The
a good
Voodoo
one.
Ranger is doing things to me.
I will say there is something about, so New Belgium makes this Voodoo Ranger line, and they have Voodoo Ranger and there's a bunch of different ones. But this Voodoo Ranger, anything I ever have Voodoo Ranger, I always tell my husband too, I'm like, oh shit, you're drinking the Voodoo Ranger. Something happens with their beers. And I don't know what they put in them, but anything from this Voodoo Ranger, it's a whole different buzz.
So it's like the tequila of beers. Like when you
Right.
decide to have this, it's going to be a different kind of night.
It's a very different kind of night. I mean, the force will be with you.
Wow.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. I mean, it falls flat for me, like in terms of
It is flat. There's no bubbles.
There's literally nothing. Okay, that tells me that that's literally how it's supposed to be, because you're tasting the same thing I'm tasting.
There's no bubbles. This is scary because this is high alcohol, and this no bubbles means very chuggable. So
highly chuggable.
What
I wouldn't
this is
suggest
a
a beer
recipe
bottle
for
of that.
disaster.
Yeah, definitely. The Voodoo. It's no bueno. It's good though.
Wow, we used to drink Pabst Blue Ribbon in college.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew what to drink, so you just buy the cheapest stuff.
Natty Light.
Natty Light. Did you guys ever make Skippies?
What's a Skippies? I don't. Only thing
Oh,
we did in high
God.
school, we'd fill up coolers and call it Jungle Juice, and we'd put a bunch of fruit in there and like Starburst and all this stuff, and then like vodka galore, and it was called Jungle Juice.
So we basically did the same thing. Skippies would be like whatever leftover beer you have mixed in a bathtub, sometimes lemonade or like a lemonade mix, and then literally like whatever random alcohol was in the house. But it was mostly a beer-based bathtub infused.
Oh my God, the tub.
Cocktail.
I thought it was gross that we were using coolers where people's fish probably was. You're using bathtubs.
We weren't scrubbing those bathtubs, you know.
Well, you lived through it. It really primed the gut with bacteria. It primed your gut really well.
Yeah. I think it gave me my good, like nice immune system.
Right. Oh, absolutely. You are inoculated, that's for sure.
I basically, we drank our own COVID vaccine back.
I was going to say that's probably why you survived COVID and you're good, because you're inoculated. You're like, well, back in my day, we had Skippies and my gut is.
They just would do like random nasty shit, and just because they gave it a name, you'd be like, "Ooh, this is a thing. This is special."
It's special, yeah.
And you're like, "No, a 19-year-old person made this, you know,
in their bathtub that they probably shaved their legs in that morning." Okay, enough,
Oh,
Chrissy,
yeah.
enough.
Sponsored by Manscaped,
right?
There's no pubes in this beer.
Okay, so up next we have Lagunitas, a little something something. This is a smooth and silky wheat. It's only 7.5%.
Boo.
Boom. I don't know our IBUs. Oh, it's 52 IBUs. So this is going to be less hoppy, but you know, we just had the least of all that.
It's
So,
not for dogs. Don't let
now,
the can
I
fool
don't
you.
know about keto, but this does contain wheat. It has
Okay.
notes that on there. So just
Okay.
I think they all contain wheat. I think Lagunitas is just the first to disclose
Yeah.
it.
At this point, I contain wheat. Okay.
Yeah. All right. The slogan is, it's right on the tip of my tongue. It just has that thing, a little something, something. Beautiful.
Ooh.
Okay, we'll see. A little something, something.
If I was smart, I would have told people these beers in advance so they could buy them and try them alongside with us. But I suck at that. Can we do another one, Allie?
Yes.
And we'll give people a heads up on what beers so they can all. This could be.
Or we could have them tell us too what beers they want us to get. Maybe do like a vote.
Yes, that's a great idea.
But yeah, as long as we can all get our hands on it. It has to be something from like Total Wine.
Okay.
Okay.
Little something, something.
This smells very clean to me.
Yeah.
It's got a little fresh, little pineapple-y.
So it's really light. Yeah, I totally do smell the pineapple.
Mm-hmm. Right. The chat is saying they love the idea of another with us telling them what we're getting. That would have been cool. Yeah, we definitely have to do that.
I had an air freshener in my car a couple months ago that smelled like this.
Yeah. It's very it's like a orangey wheat. Is this a wheat? What is this? Is this supposed to be an IPA? Oh, it is an IPA. It's a smooth and silky wheat IPA.
Are these all IPAs?
Yes, I've actually never tried this one. Well, actually, I have in
wow.
a restaurant, but this was years ago in Boston. No, in San Francisco. Why do I remember that? I don't know. I just remember walking across the street and we were going to have a beer at this place. And this dude had like the thickest fucking Russian accent I've ever heard in my life. And he was trying to say what he had on tap. And he was going to do some. And I was like,
you're like, are you drunk, sir?
But he was saying this, a little something. So Lagunitas, a little something. And I
have a little something on top, a little Voodoo Ranger, a little Coors
literally
Light.
the thickest accent. So that's why I remember. So I have had it, but I don't remember it.
Okay, wow.
So let's
smells
see.
light, smells like beer.
Looks pretty. Let's see what we got.
It does look pretty.
Very light.
Ooh. I like that one. Maybe
are you getting a lemon vibe in yours, Chrissy? A little bit of a lemon vibe?
I want to put a lemon in this.
A lemon would suit this so well.
Why a lemon versus like an orange, like what they put into a Blue Moon?
I feel like it's missing a pinch of tart. Like I feel like it needs that.
We need a tart pinch.
Mm-hmm.
It's really light though. Like I don't feel like I'm like a fat beer guzzling whore when I drink
No,
this.
it's like a summery, like outdoor by the pool type. Not a crusher. I don't feel like we should crush 7.5%, but it does taste very light. And with a lemon would even cut it even lighter. Maybe we want the lemon because the wheat's in there and we want to cut that weedy flavor out.
It always looks better in a glass too.
Mm-hmm. I tend to like drink with my pinky out when I do reviews. And my husband told me that's like so stuck up. And I was like, no, do you know, like that's not even much. Like I grew up so freaking poor. Like poverty.
You're like, I would put my pinky out eating a sandwich.
Right?
Like,
why is your pinky out? I'm like, I don't know, because this is not how I like, yeah, but it's always out and I can't keep it in. It's weird.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm. It's always out. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Actually, this is really light, and it makes me want it to be a little more tartar. Like I do want a lemon in it. I want some lemon juice in it. I think this is good. Mm-hmm.
Is there ever something you should put in a beer that's not like a slice of lemon or orange?
Some people put, what do I see people put? Well, you get lemon, you get an orange. That's all I've ever really seen. I guess there's probably other things. I mean, if you had like a coffee porter, I mean, you could put like some, I don't know. I tried that tonight. This is another one. It's a coffee porter. I tried to put cream
Ooh.
sugar in it, and I was like, maybe it'll just be like drinking cold brew. It was not. So.
Oh no. I'm thinking about embarking on making my own coffee and then putting it in the fridge.
Oh, I love that idea. Oh, cold brew. Yeah, you should
I
buy
have a
one in
cold
bulk.
brew machine, and by machine I mean just a jar
Right.
that goes to brew coffee and put it in.
You should. I used to do that with I had a big gallon jug that had a little spout on it. It was glass, and I would just and have it every morning. And so
you grew up poor too? What were some of your struggle meals that you would have growing up?
top ramen. Ramen noodles every day. We didn't even have a toaster. So I remember like toasting cinnamon toast with my sisters in the oven. Like that's how bad. I'm like, a toaster's fucking $30.
My friend Anna was basically raised on ramen as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Really poor. Yeah, we definitely lived because like my dad was really, really poor, but my mother was like very upper middle class. And I lived with my dad, but I would go
You must
visit
have had a
my
big
mom.
dick for your mom to go to downgrade like that.
Right. No, my mom went to upper middle. My dad was very poor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my mom moved
he
on,
must have been
and
bringing it. Yeah.
it just was kind of a weird lifestyle because like I lived with him like with like poverty. And then my mom, I always had like everything I needed. So it was really, really bizarre way to live.
And it's worse too because dads are like not,
No.
not great at making things homey to begin with. Like,
No. I
Not-
literally, I mean, and he was, yeah, it was crazy. I can't even believe I've drove by where I grew up and the conditions that I lived in. I'm like, where was the fucking health department? Like,
oh no,
it was so bad. But it brings character, right? Like I feel like you kind of learn a lot of. I learned both sides of things. So
I do know the taste of hose water.
hose water. I love it.
I love dirty water.
Yes,
My mom would always make noodles and butter, always egg noodles and butter, and it was like
so
that was
cheap.
seen as like a decadent, like wow, butter.
Right.
And
when
everything
we go
was
to like friends' house and they have Capri Suns, I'm like, I remember like Capri Suns or like
yeah. I would be like, I'm
packaged
gonna save this. I sometimes would take fancy snacks from other people's
Yeah.
houses and like put it in my bag and like save it for another time. I'd be like,
Right.
wow, this is fancy.
Isn't that so weird? Like that just is crazy. Like I look at my kids, I'm like, we definitely still try to raise them very humbly. We don't like they got to work for their shit. And it's just interesting. I'm like, man, they're growing up in a totally different world. Even as like regular middle class people, it's like, it's so weird that they don't understand like the value of a new pair of shoes or that's really frustrating. You can't teach that. Like they have to experience that. And so just having respect and understanding that, not everything is handed to you is very hard to teach kids very much.
You only know unless you've gone without it, and you can
Mhm.
only appreciate it. That's what's
Right.
hard because like you want to do better to give your kids a better life, but then it was like you doing bad, which was made you appreciate it.
Right. Yeah, I know. Sometimes we want to let them learn hard lessons, and that's like the only way. And we have 3 boys, so we're definitely, raising. It's hard. Boys, they're wild.
Your house probably constantly smells. There's just boys.
Yes.
and
I'm like the bathroom situation. It's just I grew up with sisters, and
yeah.
girls are messy. Like there's clothes everywhere, but nobody's pissing on the walls. I mean, we make it in the toilet. It's not like peas everywhere, and you're like, what are you fucking doing? Like,
yeah, the toilet is big. How do you miss it?
how do you miss this? We're going back to Cheerios, guys. Okay, we're gonna relearn this.
Oh my god.
Do you have siblings? Do you have sisters?
I
brothers?
was raised, I'm the youngest of 3. Older brother, older sister. Me and my sister always shared a room growing up. I hadn't had no allowance, and like before I had a job, I would just like borrow my sister's clothes. That would really piss her off. She'd be like, "You're gonna stretch them out. You're gonna ruin it." And I just was like, "I have no money," and we shared a closet, so it's like, what do you expect?
Yeah, that's hard.
But yeah. And I would make fun of my sister because she played with dolls until she was in 9th grade. She played with Barbies. I don't know why I remember that so distinctly.
Like if it was, were you more tomboy? Is that why?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was younger. I was always into like sports. Like, well, I was a diver, and then I did cheerleading, and so I was always doing like diving, cheerleading, gymnastics.
Yeah.
So, which was good, which kept me out of trouble for sure.
I really agree. Our boys play hockey, and I it's very disciplined. And it definitely keeps out of trouble. So I agree with
Are
that.
you worried about them losing all their teeth?
No, not as much as I am concussions. When they were younger, I hated our middle had so many concussions. He was amazing at football, but we had to pull him. It was getting so bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was scary. But did you know I recently lost a lot of teeth? Did you hear about
What?
So
No.
I was drunk, mind you, after a Bruins game. I was riding on a scooter, and those electric scooters, which I ride all the time. I just don't typically ride them this drunk.
The bird or
The bird.
what's
It
the
was a
other one?
bird, yes.
Yeah.
And I just seen a curb coming, and I in my head thought, oh, I'll just hop it. Well, it was like one of those
You can't hop a curb in a bird scooter.
Squared off curbs. It was one of those kind of curbs, like a concrete curb.
No, you're not on a dirt bike, Allie. It's a bird scooter. You can't hop anything.
So I went face first. That's why I have a scar. This was just like 5 months ago. I literally broke my jaw. I lost 9 teeth in the back.
Where were you? Where did this happen?
Outside, downtown Tampa, after the Bruins game. They had played the Lightning. They won. I met like 4 or 5 Bruins fans. We were on our way to the bar. I was so hype. I was having a hell of a time. Within 2 minutes of getting on that bird, I break my jaw. Blood is everywhere. It was a fucking disaster. And I had 3 months of recovery. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink. I couldn't do shit. It was horrible.
Whoa, but you could drink beer. No, you couldn't drink.
No, through a straw, I was good. But I did vlog the whole thing. And of course, you know, in the world of content, I was like, this is gold.
Teeth. That's like
it was like all the
third of your teeth.
They were either cracked, fractured, or completely out of my mouth. And it was insane. Luckily, it was nothing in the front. So my
Did it hurt? It probably hurt.
Hell yeah. In my whole chin, I had like 18 stitches. And then, of course, I broke my jaw. So my jaw had to be all stable. It was a fucking nightmare.
But you look amazing. Like you don't look any different.
Yeah. It's
Do you
like
notice a difference? Okay.
I think my mouth kind of goes a different way. Sometimes I see it, but I'm also only like 4 months out. So I don't know if it's fully healed. I have to get another CT scan. But yeah, so I would say be careful on those scooters, guys. If you're drunk, even if you're an experienced rider, you can.
Can you write to Bird and be like, look, I'm hot and your scooter injured me. Can you send me a free one?
Like a free scooter would be wonderful.
Yeah. Give your girl a bird.
No, you want to know the worst part of this whole story is obviously when I fell off, I just left the scooter on the ground. Well, it assumed I was still using it. So the next morning it was like $201 of scooter usage.
Because probably somebody took it around.
Right. I was like, oh, well, there's that too. It was funny.
Wow. You break your jaw, you break 9 teeth, and somebody takes their scooter on a ride on your dollar.
I was terrified. I was like, I was afraid I couldn't do things like online. I was like, what the fuck? I can't even, my jaw, I couldn't speak. But I was just like, I'm just going to use this to my advantage in the world of content and and I just vlogged the experience about it. But yeah, it was pretty fucked up.
Really? With like blood coming out of your face and everything like that? Like,
yeah, I did that.
Like, Here I am.
I did actually. I was like, well, guys, but the Bruins won. So I just vlogged it, but it was terrible. Shit. It was so bad.
That is terrible.
Be careful out there.
Were you drunk when this happened?
It's trash. Do you know what I had? 7 of these.
See? The Indian IPAs.
The IPA, yeah, the cigar thing.
Oh, Allie, you should up the curb. You should try to
I literally had
on the scooter.
7 of these fuckers. It was really
wow.
Good. So that's I wouldn't advise that.
Good, you can make it. You can hop the curb.
Hope it. Yeah, I did literally think I could. My husband watched it. He's like, you literally didn't even brace yourself. You just fucking chin first. I was like, I don't know why I would do that.
I remember it was like senior week. Oh my God. We were drunk the entire week. Everyone was drunk for a whole full week, just taking exams, everything. And I just remember I skimmed my knee on the sidewalk. And in my drunken state, I was like, oh, I know what's good for a skimmed knee. And I think I put nail polish remover on a cotton ball. And I was like, this will clean it right up. And I was like, and then it scarred badly. And it was like,
oh, wow.
It was so stupid. I don't know what I thought it was.
I think you were probably thinking like alcohol. Cause like, you know what I mean? Maybe that would help clean it. It probably killed any bacteria. So that's good.
It killed everything. It hurt really bad.
Oh yeah, that was my first breakage of a bone. I've never broke anything before.
And it was your whole face.
My whole jaw was broke. Yeah, and I posted
Damn.
that online too. But it was really, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it could have been bad. I could have been wired like Kanye. Okay,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, I would have created
And then
content
the
right
wires
down
come
through the
off, and
wire.
they're like, the Jews, and they're like, oh no.
Yeah, no, that's what they wanted to do, but we were able to rehab it without. But yeah, I was like, fuck.
Did I
Like,
say skim? I meant skinned. You guys know what I mean. Stop being difficult.
what did they say?
Skinned. I said skimmed.
She said skimmed. Oh, acetone.
I skimmed it.
The chat
Whatever.
is funny. They've
Guys, they're funny. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're toxic.
Yeah, I know. I've got those too. But they're good for engagement. The toxic ones or the haters, you have to love them. They're very good for engagement and they're so loyal. So loyal.
They're great. They're good people. They're smarter than me. They answer all my
Right.
questions.
Right.
I've never broken a bone. I've only twisted ankles and
Wow.
like hit my hands and feet on diving boards, but never like broken a thing.
That's amazing considering you did your cheering and everything like you'd think at some point. But yeah.
Well, I wasn't a flyer. I was a bass. I was a husky bass. Okay. So
You're so
it's
little.
hard. It's hard. I'm little now. I was not then. I was a husky bass. And like, just get ready for like 2 years of your shoulder smelling like foot because
Oh
there's
my God.
always someone's, practicing standing on your shoulder. Your hands smell like feet. Like your hands smell like a sweaty foot because you're always like, "Hurrah,"
Oh, I never even thought about that. Yeah, that
just
would
being
be a
stepped
lot.
on all day.
That's no good. No bueno.
Yeah. And they're like, catch
Oh.
me. And I'm like, fucking die.
Your chat said, Travis says to try Golden Road Mango Cart. It is a very good beer. I have had Mango Cart. That's a really good one, actually. It's a great suggestion. That's very, very light. It's 4
Wait, I'm writing it down. How does it go?
It's Golden Road Mango Cart, and you can definitely get it in New York. It's 4.2%, super light. It's like a session. You would probably love that. And like I said, it's very light. So that's a really good suggestion from one of your members.
Golden Road, take me home.
Mango Cart. They have that on tap a lot of places. You'll find that at somewhere.
Allie is a younger and better looking version of Vince Neil's ex-wife. What a specific reference.
I have to look up Vince Neil's ex-wife. Who is this woman?
Vince Neil.
Who is Vince Neil, first of all?
You better be hot or else you're banned.
Yeah, this is a problem.
Okay, she is not hot. This is not good. This is not a compliment.
No, that's a hater.
Oh, no. No, wait, this is Vince Neil himself.
Oh, maybe
Never mind.
Never
yeah, mind. This is a man.
Maybe it's Heidi Mark is who he's talking about. She's okay. She used to be a model. You know who people always tell me I look like?
Okay. I mean, really, she literally is just blonde.
They tell me I look like Brandy Love's daughter. Brandy Love is a porn star, and it's so funny.
I'm friends with Brandy.
I know, and she's my little Twitter friend now too. So I'm like, everyone always says like you look like you were Brandy Love's daughter, and I was like that. And Brandy Love has an amazing story. Have you heard? Her story is very good.
I've never seen her daughter.
No, I don't think
you look like her.
I don't know if she has if I look like. They think that I look like Brandy Love, like a younger version of like when Brandy Love first came through and she was doing things. That's what
I see it.
But she has a really cool story too. Yeah, she's quite interesting gal.
You mean other than kind of getting booted out of TPUSA?
I did read about that. Yeah.
Hold on. What is her story? I should remember. I should know.
Well, she was like a corporate lady, I think, that kind of went and kind of like I did and was like, fuck it, we're doing porn. And that's what it is. How does Allie look that good drinking a beer? Started going down the IPA road. Now other beer styles don't go. Yes, IPAs are amazing. And yeah, she was like a corporate lady who I'm paraphrasing that turned to porn with her and her husband or whatever. And basically started making really good money off it. So her story I really resonated with a lot because she kind of just left everything else behind and was like, this is what we're doing now. Mm-hmm. Which was really cool. I mean, I would say people that knew me prior to this are probably do watch my stuff and are probably like, what in the actual fuck? Like it does not click with them. I'm sure there's a lot of people that watch me and think there's no way. Like because this is very opposite of how I was in my day life. Like, so it is definitely a shift for me too. And I think some people probably still can't grasp the personality that I am today, because I was always so professional in my professional settings. I just never,
you have to hide your whole personality. That's what everyone has to do.
Absolutely. It's terrible. And now they've, now that they know nurses and stuff are on OnlyFans, it discouraged it and told, girls don't, or you'll be fired. And I'm like, wow. It's like, well, you're doing enough. You'll make more than nursing. So who gives a shit at that point?
When people have you on their shows, do you feel a lot of judgment for doing OnlyFans? Do you feel like people ask you like shitty questions?
Sometimes, yeah. I kind of like it. Like, I went on a Christian like podcast tour where I purposely asked to be on podcasts with like really, really strong-minded, like religious people, because I knew that was my biggest criticism, like community that criticizes what I do. And so I wanted to go on their shows and be like, let me have it. Just like, give me what it is. What is wrong with me? Like, why do you have a problem with me? Blah, blah, blah. And I went on like 3 different shows, some pretty big ones. And it was really, really good. And I learned a lot. And I was kind of open to it. And I think their audience actually appreciated it, because I don't think they were expecting what was coming out of my mouth and the type of person that I actually am versus, social media and stuff, like what they see front face value versus who I really am. And so it was great engagement. We had a lot of great questions. And so I didn't mind it. I kind of wanted to put myself in that uncomfortable situation. And I'm not a religious person. I've never really have been. So I don't practice that way. And I don't understand kind of where they were coming from. And so it gave me an opportunity to at least kind of see their point of view. Obviously, I'm not changing anything I'm doing, but it did help me a little bit. And so I really, I did enjoy that, actually. I like it.
That's interesting. I'm getting married this year, and I had to, and it's we are gonna get. I wasn't raised Catholic, but we're probably gonna get married in a Catholic church because that's what Frank's side is. I was raised Methodist, so I had to call up the church and had like a 25 minute long conversation today, because I'm like, all right, First Church, Baldwin, whatever, Methodist.
Right.
Well, I'm like, long conversation with the woman. I need to get my proof of baptism, like my whole story. I remember being baptized. I was like 8 years old, because I think the Methodist, they want you to either my parents were late as fuck, or it's a thing where they want you to remember it. Like, I remember being 8, I had my head in the bin, and I was like, I'm telling this woman, I'm like, oh, it was glorious. She's like, do you remember when it was? I'm like, I don't know. Probably summer or spring. The light was coming through the stained glass windows. It was
right.
I'm like, I'm fucking 8. What do you expect, lady?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
And I'm like, give her my name. I'm like, please find my proof of baptism. Like, send it to me soon. I got to figure this shit out. And I hang up and I look at the area code, and then I look back on the website, and I was like, oh my God, I just spoke to a woman for 25 minutes in fucking Kansas City. Like, I'm looking for something in New York, and we bonded.
So are you going to get married in Kansas City?
So I had to leave her a message to be like, yeah, just scratch that whole thing. Like, I'm a fucking retard, and I just meant New York. And anyway, have a good life. Have a good life, Helga.
Wow. So, that sucks. That really sucks after you have to
anyway, go. But yeah, I think I might. Yeah, if we do get married in a Catholic church, I'm gonna have to learn the choreography. I'm gonna have to like get with it. It's okay. I went to a Catholic college, so I went to a few masses then, and
you know the lingo. And
yeah,
I was never exposed to it as a kid. Like, we never went to church. We didn't I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, like I said, and I never, like, it's not something I practice or even push on my kids, because I don't know. And so I don't really have any beliefs. It's really a kind of an awkward situation in that sense. But it was good to hear from other, the Christian side of things. And especially as it relates to the adult industry, there's a lot of judgment, and that's unfortunate. It really is, to be honest. And, we're people. We're people too. We're just, the way I look at it too, I guess I went on a podcast, I was like, well, I'm not a porn star. And somebody in the chat was like, yes, you are. You make porn and you sell it. And I'm like, okay, maybe by definition, but I guess I never never connected with that. And I never realized, because just me and my husband, right? And other females, but that's more of like a collab thing. And so it never sat with me, but I had to own it for a minute and be like, okay, well, to the general public, that's what I am. And I have to own that. And that's kind of how they're going to label me. And I'm okay with that. It is what it is. But most people that know me know my site is more just like a peek into my personal sex life. Personally, I mean, that's literally what it is. It's not production. I'm not like with some porn companies and things like that. I don't do that. So,
And it was always with your husband, right? It wasn't like you would.
yeah, no, I've never,
Random
no other
people.
guys, always with my husband. It was just literally us just coming home from the bar and we're just filming what we're already doing. I have done collabs with girls now since I've been in the industry, but that's a whole different, situation there, but never any other males. And so I never looked at myself like that. I always thought, oh, I'm just letting people see inside my life. But the reality is, what I am producing technically, I guess at this point is porn.
It's
So
porn.
I'm owning it. Like, I guess it's porn.
Like delicious dish. It's like we're producing porn this week.
This week.
Does your husband ever feel like, well, I guess if he's okay with you and another girl, is there ever like a line where he's like, oh, this would be cheating and I'm not okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, like, definitely with no other males, and I don't have any desire to do that either. But like with females, it's more other females in the industry. It's more of a collaborative. It's it's good for business and
Audience sharing. Yeah.
yeah, and so that's that. And he's never been concerned. Matter of fact, I mean, the girl stuff, like he's like, you can collab anytime you want, honey. Of course, he loves that.
Like,
So
I will watch the collab as long
like,
as the collabs happen when I'm home.
yeah, he's totally on board with that. There's no jealousy there or anything. It's not like I'm running off in relationships with these people, but yeah. So, I mean, it's been good. He's enjoyed watching me like experiment and just kind of come into my own. And like I said, I was a hockey mom in the suburbs. I was a nurse. These are things that, I was just very straight and narrow girl. I was in college. I got my PhD. I was doing everything that I always tell people what's interesting is I literally could walk into the room and I used to be the most well-respected person in the room, right? A veteran, a nurse,
Not
a
anymore.
mother, a doctor. It's like I had all these things and now I walk in the room and I'm the most least respected person in the room simply because I film what I do, which is very bizarre to me. Like erased everything else, my veteran, everything aside, because of what I do. So it's just really weird how that works, but I have thick skin. I can deal with it. So.
Are you trying to keep your work from your kids at all?
Yeah, I mean, our older two boys, they're 20 and 19. They're very well aware.
Wow.
They know everything.
They're fully grown adults.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You don't look old enough to have a 20-year-old son. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Had them when we were 18, so we were super young. We were very young. But they know everything, the older two. They were very like, we told them right when my story got out, so about 2 years ago. And they were pretty much their impression of it was like they looked at us and they thought it's just together, and we were like, yeah, and they're like, y'all are fucking crazy, but whatever, do you, And so they were very much like that's on y'all, you do what you got to do, which was wonderful. Our youngest, he just pretty much thinks mom's like a TikToker, an influencer. He doesn't really understand the full scope, but I could be very naive. And he might know more. We just haven't had that conversation with him. So it's a little.
Yeah, because I remember last time we talked, you were like, yeah, we're like blocking their friends on Instagram. And I'm like, oh, that must be so much to keep up with. Yeah,
we definitely block him from everything. It's really scary in that sense. He's pretty young at heart, our youngest. So I don't. But all our older boys, I mean, their friends are all well over 18, 19, 20. I mean, I can't control that anymore. It was when they were younger that obviously was an issue, but our youngest, I don't know when we'll have that conversation with him. I don't think it's time. Even though he's 13, I don't think it's time. Like that's not
too young. I don't know. Like,
and he's very young at heart. He's more like a 11. You know what I mean? He's not ready for it, as Drake would say. You ain't ready for it. But so we'll just kind of let it be. But he definitely knows I'm in media. He knows I do interviews. He knows I'm, on TikTok. He knows that stuff. So. Kind of
just say you're a Manscaped spokesperson.
Well, I try to like, I model bikinis, people send me stuff, I try to like make it more like model like, but I know that eventually he's going to call bullshit on that.
Like, look, I'm just tasting beers. Okay.
Literally, like that's all I'm doing. It's just the Voodoo Ranger, baby. It's not my fault.
Like none of you would be here if it weren't for the Voodoo Ranger. Okay. Show some respect.
The Voodoo Ranger brought you into this world.
It'll take you out.
Oh my God. That's like so like our era. How old are you? Are we around the same age? Can I
Maybe. I don't know. I have no kids. I
I'm
feel like that.
38. So, yeah.
Maybe.
hmm Yeah, I
Okay.
know that our era was different with that. It's just funny.
Oh boy. Wow, I should have brought more beers to taste.
More beers today. Yeah, these are good ones. I recommended these because I knew you can get them anywhere, but like I said,
No, the bird scooter will take you out. Yep.
the literally almost ended my career. Imagine if I would have smashed my fucking face and had like gouges. I mean, it could have been bad.
Dude, I've been on a bird scooter. They get pretty fast.
Yeah,
Like,
you
they
can
can
go, and I
go
think I sped up before I crashed. So
like I think you can go 20 miles an hour on those things.
mm-hmm.
It's like a car with no
Mhm.
doors. Yeah.
Yep. Why are women weird about saying their age? Well, I don't know, Dave.
I don't know, Dave. Why are men weird about saying their height and income?
Right. Thank you.
Let's see cock sizes in the chat.
Right. Oh, I'm like a professional at this. I mean, everyone is just so different. You know how many dick pics I get a day? It's ridiculous.
How many?
Oh
Can
my
we see
God.
some? No, never mind. It's YouTube.
It's so many. It's a lot. Let's just put it that way.
I had a guy who would tweet, and this was just like in the last week, tweeted 2 pictures of his cock. Like, I think maybe he put an emoji over the head or something. Like, just a sad attempt at like censoring out a part of it. But it was like something like he was trying to like propose to me via tweet, like, "Oh, I can't wait to put a baby in you," and
Oh
just
my
like his
God.
cock. And I was like, "What makes you think this is what I want?" Like,
My favorite
right.
are the ones that like send pics like that, but like the terriblest background. I'm always looking in the background. I was like,
Me
what is
too.
the
I
line
look
in
at the
room?
background
I'm
first.
like,
I
is
look for
that
Mhm.
is that
I
a
look for
human being right
mismatched
now?
lamps. I look for cluttered rooms.
For sure. I'm serious. It's interesting. People got crazy shit up in their house. I'm like, why does he have that on the counter? Like, why? I'm like,
Yes,
oh,
he
that's right.
posted dick pics on Twitter. This was shocking to me because I'm like,
Mhm.
"What are you doing? This is the place for spicy takes and dick jokes." Like, I don't
I
need to see
know.
pictures of your cock.
It's hilarious. Yeah,
Gross.
I'm desensitized to it now. I like getting them. I mean, just send them. You know, I think especially if you want me to rate them, I enjoy doing them. I'm very honest. I mean, I rate beers.
Like a
I might.
postcard. Wish you were here.
Oh, what's his name?
Let's have some more Jai.
Highlight. So, okay, let's do it official here, Chrissy. Which one would you say was your favorite in our beautiful lineup?
Okay.
We had
I think this was my favorite.
the little something something, and
Yeah.
what you liked about it was that it. What did you like about it?
Okay, so this one is like best light sort of casual drink. I don't remember any of my like descriptive notes, but I like
Right.
just made me feel happy. But if you want to get fucked up and like be like, I want something to happen tonight, like I want some weird shit to happen tonight,
Voodoo
then
Ranger.
this is the Voodoo Ranger is for you. If you're feeling like a little ethnic and weird, go for the Jai Lie. It's and like this is also like not gonna hurt anybody, like inoffensive,
No.
fun, fruity, very
Chill.
it's like a treat for the nose and the
Mm-hmm.
mouth.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. Yeah, this is a classic easy drinker. I think this is the gateway into IPAs. Mango Cart, the one that one of your community members here recommended, is called a session. Sessions are IPAs that are under 5%, and they're very light, and you can drink a lot of them, but they are also a nice way to try IPA like styles without having to have something that's like a voodoo fucking ranger. So
Now that I'm trying Jai Lie again, it tastes like a little dirty.
It is because that's the hops. You're not a huge fan
Oh.
of the hop. I think I might have just mixed 2 beers, unfortunately. Let's see. Maybe I just made
That's called a Skippy where I'm from.
Right. I made myself a little Skippy in a clean glass, though, not a tub.
Yeah, you need soap scum to give it the little extra something.
Honestly, I met with a brewery recently, and I was talking to them about Tap That making a beer. I wanted to make my own hazy IPA, and brand it and sell it because that's my favorite beer, and I thought it would be cool. Do y'all think that's a good idea?
Mhm.
That's what I wanted to do.
We're not genuinely asking people for their income. I was being whatever.
Someone said mix all of them together and see what it tastes like.
What is this, a Taco Bell?
I mean,
That's what I used to do in my youth at
oh,
Taco
the
Bell.
little machine.
Because we'd always have to share our drinks. Like, there's 3 kids and like 2 adults. So like you'd have to always either share with like one of the other kids or like mom or dad or something. Usually not. Usually it was always like, and so I would take, if I had cup privileges, which was seldom, I would just mix every soda in my cup. I'd be like, oh, this is what's in this cup, every fucking soda possible. And it was fucking gross. And it was, but it was the only way I could get my own drink.
Weren't those called suicides when you'd go like Dr. Pepper, Coke, Pepsi, you know, like
Yes,
they're
right.
called suicides.
Orange, root beer. It's like, this tastes like shit, but it's mine, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, I remember that. I think they were called suicides. And you're right. Taco Bell is always where we had our family dinners too, because you remember when tacos used to be 39 cents?
Dude, that was my life, yo.
39 cents tacos back then. I mean, you could feed a whole family under $20.
I was just saying the other day, I bought some stamps. Guess how much stamps are right now?
Well, like 52 cents, probably
63 cents, and they're going up.
God. I remember when they were 47.
I remember when stamps were 29. Like
that I do remember the 20s.
The 29 was like a very stampy time. I think 32 was a very stampy
32 stuck around for a while. Yeah.
It's stamped in my memory.
And you really still buy stamps? We need those. What would you mail? I'm just curious. What would
like
you
wedding invitation?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Other than that, no. I'm kind of like my grandma in the sense that I really like to send cards for birthdays.
That's sweet.
And I have like a grandma amount of stickers. And like I'll just buy cards like for all occasions and just have them. Because what if you like need an emergency card? It's always good to have like, emergency
thank you. Some people still like, especially that generation, they really like a physical card. Like a text is not going to cut it. Yeah, and for some people, I agree.
We know what stamps are.
I don't know if this generation. Yeah, I mean, I guess
don't. Some of you people are like
I'm
not aware.
Stamps are around still. They're not extinct.
They're about to phase out stamps because they're getting more expensive. They're going to go up to like 75 cents. And because they're trying to compete with Amazon, which is impossible. So they're basically asking for stamps to be in the past because Amazon's going to win.
A theory on record here. This is just like a thing I think is going to happen. And I'm just my personal thing. Why hasn't Amazon just bought out UPS? Because I mean, basically, UPS, that's all they're delivering at this point is Amazon packages. Don't you think Amazon could just buy them and stop paying them under a contract and just own all their shit?
Their bitch and like change it from UPS. Just make it Amazon
Air. I just want that on record here that I first thought
of it first.
Yeah.
If it happens, they're taking your idea.
Yes, exactly. I just feel like, well, how can't they buy them out yet? Shit, that's all UPS is doing is Amazon packages.
That's a good point. And to your point about Taco Bell, we would have family dinners at Taco Bell as well. Like I would fuck up a hard taco. Like I haven't had a hard taco in like
okay. So what was your sauce?
Like, mild, a year and a half. I haven't had Taco Bell.
Neither.
I would do like either no sauce or a mild sauce. For me, it was not about the sauce. It was about the textural, tactile experience of like hot meat versus cheese versus lettuce versus crispiness. And
they tried to get rid of the Mexican pizza. How'd you feel about that? Was that
I'm still
devastated?
How could they do that to us? There was a summer where it was Rocky and Bullwinkle sponsored for the summer, and like if you ate something like 100 tacos, you'd get a free t-shirt. So it was I was like very passionate about this. It was like for a summer, it was like our whole family's goal to eat 100 tacos so I could get this t-shirt. And then we ended up selling it at a garage sale for like 50 cents.
Oh my god!
Like this Taco Bell shirt that you fucking made us eat a summer of tacos so you could get the damn shirt, and now you're selling it at the garage.
Old school marketing. That's what they had to do.
Now I would die to have that shirt again. Like if anyone can find the Bullwinkle shirt, I'll never forget. It was a black shirt with a brown, like big ass Bullwinkle head on the front.
That's amazing. Now
Maybe
they'd
it's
probably be like 100 retweets and we're sending you a free t-shirt. Like that's how much marketing has changed.
I earned that shirt.
Yeah, you ate all them. Wow. But I'm not even joking when I say family dinners to talk about, like, I have vivid memories of all 5 of us sitting at inside Taco Bell. Who goes in and eats
Yeah,
at
the
Taco Bell?
swivel chairs, the like small swivel stool chairs.
That are connected to the table.
Yeah, they're connected to the table and the ground, and you can't go anywhere. And the stucco walls, like the hard, pointy walls.
It's crazy. It's so like, wow. Yeah, that's
Like
where we
Taco
are.
Bell is more firmly ingrained into my memory than like holidays at my house.
Realistically, that's the truth. I mean, you already knew. You remember the cheese-Doritos? I mean, I can name all the menu items.
The
They've got
Choco Tacos,
everything. Girl, the cinnamon pintos and beans.
cinnamon twist, the pintos and beans.
God, that was so good. The pintos and cheese. Yeah, the little cups they had.
Oh, the cheese. Yeah.
They always got to mess with something that wasn't broken. Like, why do you have to get rid of shit? It's just they have the ingredients there. Like
That's all they do. All they do is mess with what's good.
I just don't get it. Yeah, I remember those days.
Taco Tacos, so good. And for a time, you could get them off of ice cream trucks.
Oh gosh, I remember that. The ice cream man. Now I'm just creeped the fuck out by ice cream man's. Like, what are you doing? Who are you trying to fucking pull
If
into?
you're a pedophile, ice cream man is the gig to get because
100,
you have no supervision.
You have all the treats, all the goodies.
Kids are always going to be excited to see you.
White van.
All you need is a van and a bell and some ice cream.
Right. It's scary.
I'm not trying to give anybody ideas, but
no, I would tell my kids, don't fucking fuck with the ice cream man. I don't trust that fucker. Anybody that's like out there purposely dealing with children. I mean,
I remember our good humor man, his name was Tony, and he would be our normal guy. He would be like, there was a time where it was like the high point of my childhood because I actually pulled over 2 ice cream men. Like I stopped 2 trucks at once. And I was like, it was like the best moment of my life because I was able to stop 2 ice cream trucks. But really, a turf war ensued because one man was creeping on Tony's territory. Like this was his block. This was his block. And he was coming in from South Hempstead, and it was like a whole war.
Oh, I bet they did. I bet you they had like a gang. I bet
there
you
were words exchanged. And I was like, can I just get a fucking, wrestling pop? And they were like fighting it out. I was like, can I just get a screwball, something?
Right. Shit was
fast. It was an ice cream. It was an ice cream gang.
Oh, there had to be. They had their territories, and like because you never seen a different ice cream man on the same street.
No, never. It was unheard of. And I remember I'd hear that bell like ding, 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 ding. And then in the distance, like ding, 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 ding. And then I'd be like, ah! And then I'd run to the kitchen, open up the 3rd drawer, and I'd burrow like a fucking rabbit, like a raccoon with rabies.
Start lifting couch cushions and everything.
For coins because there was one coin bin that Dad would just throw his like dirty, fucking landscaping coins into. And I'd be like, and then I'd be like looking for the quarters, and then like just you get enough quarters and enough time to like run outside.
Right. Yeah.
I think you could get something decent for like $1.50. So it's like you only need to get like 6 quarters and you were all right.
You were good. Yeah. I remember when I used to scrape couch cushions looking for quarters to order Papa John's. You can order Papa John's small pizza for $6.25. They used to have an extra small. It was very little. $6.25 delivered. It was not hard to find the $6.
It is. Yeah.
It's so wow. We lived in a better time.
It was better.
I feel bad for these kids. I really do.
Did your kids like have cell phones right away?
No, we didn't give the boys cell phones for very late. Like they hated us. I'm pretty sure they had some. They snuck and like kept in their room. Like their friends like gave them old phones like with Wi-Fi. I'm pretty sure because we waited a long time, probably till they were 14 or 15 before we ever gave them a phone. Our 13-year-old has one now because it's obviously a different time. But we waited a long, long time with the older 2. They probably hate us for that, but it is what it is.
What were they missing? It's like
Snapchat, girls like sending nudes. I don't know. I mean, what else are they doing on there? I don't like the Snapchat. It's just It's too sketch.
Snapchat and TikTok are literally brain rot. Like they're here to make us worse.
Yeah, I almost feel like they have a mission with every user.
Yes.
That has. They do. I agree.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's a different time for them. That's why
America was the best for a long time, and now we're fucking too gay to function.
Oh no, we have like mad issues. Like we've got people are just not that spirit, that hustle, that I guess you can call it the American spirit, like that drive, that just go. That's not there. These kids are fucking lazy. I'm like,
Everyone's
dude,
lazy. Everyone's
they don't
gay.
pick up the
Everyone's
phone. They
trans.
don't talk to people. They just want to text. I'm like, you're never going to get a job like that. Like you got to call these people. You got to show up. It's just a different.
No one can form a sentence. No one can talk on the phone.
Nope.
And I'm just talking about myself. It's really, we're in shambles.
Crazy.
But I think I was just talking to, are you familiar with the Sovereign Bra? He was in these viral clips from the whatever podcast where someone was like, would you rather date the oldest woman in the world or the hottest guy with a dick or something? And he was like, I would take the oldest woman because that would mean I wouldn't be gay. And it like blew up. And he's like this Chad. And I was like, get on my show. And so we're just talking about stuff. And God, what was the point of bringing him up? Just going back to I was saying that I feel like us as a culture, we've hit rock bottom in so many areas. Like basically they're demonizing preference now. It's like, oh, you have to be into trans people or you're a transphobe. It's like, no, people like what they like. They're gonna date who they want to date. Same with comedy. You laugh at what you want to laugh at, what you find funny. You can't help it. People still laugh at misogynistic.
They
want to
put us in very cookie cut, like everybody's the same belief, which is actually quite scary when you want everybody believing and on the same track. Like actually being diverse thinkers is very, very good for our society. For everybody, just like let us do what we want. Like I don't want to be pushed on anything, and I hate that. I feel bad for the athletes. Like I was just watching that today about athletes being forced to like push these political messages that they don't want to send. They don't want to be a part of, but it's like now it's becoming parts of their contract. It's kind of fucking messed up if you think about it.
They like control your personality and your thoughts and what you can post. Yikes.
Yeah.
I would suck at that. I would get fired in an instant.
Yeah. It's for sure. Cause I'm like, no, thanks. You know what I mean? It's really jacked up. It just sucks. I hate it. I think my generation was the last of the best. Like I said, I'm 38. So this time, like it just went all downhill.
It was better. Now it sucks. But since we've hit our rock bottom in so many areas, I think there's finally beginning to be a pushback because it's like now they're really fucking with kids, and now
we're all
really
homeschooling.
Yeah. It's like now people are like, okay, that's quite enough. Okay, we're gonna have to start pushing back.
Yeah, we pulled our kids out of school, and we're in Florida. I feel pretty safe with my kids in school here, but we pulled our kids out. We started figuring out real quick, like, okay, so they go to school like 8 hours a day to learn about shit that will literally not help them in the workforce. Like, let's be honest right now. Like they're not ready when they get out.
Have I ever used math ever? No.
Ever. Even if you're a fucking engineer, like you have systems and formulas and algorithms that figure this shit out for you. So it just blew my mind. And then, of course, your kids feel like shit about themselves because they're not making A's on these tests. And then they tell them, oh, your kid he's below standard.
Yeah, they're getting punched in the head on the bus ride the whole way in.
It's just a fucked up situation. So we just kind of pulled our youngest out and we're like, you know what? Here's what do you like? And he's like, I like video editing. And I'm like, fantastic. You're going to be a 15-year-old full-time video. Like, this kid is learning video editing. And I'm like, by the time he's 17, he can have a full-time job. Like,
edit my content. Congrats.
No, not my content. Maybe Tap That's content, but not mine.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, in general, like he's learning about small businesses. He's learning about taxes. We're teaching him. He's reading like real life books. He's learning about dealing with anxiety, dealing with pressure, dealing with like legit shit that will help him in life versus, oh, let's teach you about the fucking archaic Mayans okay, that's cool. But like realistically,
the Egyptians are not going to help you. They're gone.
Like that's a fucking waste of 8 hours a day. And so we're teaching him about real life shit, like what goes into doing things, like just important stuff. And so it's kind of scary as a parent to pull your kids out, but Florida is such an open state and that you can unschool your children. And we chose to do it. And we're kind of just, we're not alone. There's a lot of people. I mean, I follow groups and stuff that are doing the same thing we're doing, that are kind of fed up with the systems of school, and they feel like their kids aren't prepared anyway. So what the fuck's the difference? He already knows how to read, write, and you know, he can do basic shit. He's made it to the 8th grade in the
Was he
public
upset
school.
that you pulled him out? Because he was
No,
like, my
he
friends, my
loved it. He loves it
friends.
because he is and he's major ADD, like over fucking talker, and he's super communicative. And in school, that's labeled as bad, right? Like, you talk too much, you this. I'm like, okay, well, why don't we highlight those features? Like, no, he'd be a great salesman. He'd be a fucking amazing lawyer because he's so fucking annoying. You want to give him anything he wants. So I'm like, you start like really taking these people's strengths and like putting them to use. And so we feel like we're just enhancing what he already has. Like, we're doing things different with him. And maybe it's the wrong decision. I don't know yet. We don't know, but we were willing to take the risk. And during COVID, no other states took school seriously during that time. So why should we? And I think that's when our eyes opened, is like when other states, we were in Massachusetts, didn't take school seriously for a fucking year and a half. I was like, oh, so it's really not that important. Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
You know, now we're going to do
And
it.
whether you pull your kids out of mainstream public school or not, it's important to keep that conversation open of like, hey, what do you want? What do you like to do? Like, where are your strengths? And okay, as a parent, be like, okay, what are his strengths and how can he make a living off of this? And I just feel like nobody did that for me. But then again, like,
your strengths were bad, like, oh, you talk too much, or you know, you're too funny, or you're a class clown, or whatever it may be. Yeah.
And God, I remember my mom being like, Chrissy, go to college, study hard. When you graduate, you could be an assistant. You could work at a hotel. I was like, ooh.
AKA in debt, where they want you, right where they want you, in debt. So you can owe your life to them. And, you know,
well,
now
they're also like, my parents are boomers. So for them, it was a huge deal to have us all go through college.
Right.
That was a point of pride for them. And really, it's like, okay. Ultimately, did I need a bachelor's to do stand-up and podcasting? No. But I sort of like dabbled in the college, you know, like TV channel. And it was like, it's a lot of money for 4 years of like unsupervised partying and like dicking around.
Well, and it's like you said, I mean, you come out, these kids are literally fucking getting degrees now to be an admin assistant. And it's comical. It's like,
that was my life. Yeah.
It's like, and then they come out and they make 45 grand a year and they are in debt. Their student loans are $1,200 a month. So there's half your fucking income. And it's like, what are we doing here? And I mean, I was very pro education. I have my doctorate. Like I said, I graduated my doctorate the same month that I decided to do OF full time. And that was an incredibly hard decision. That was 180 grand down the fucking drain. But it's so sad that I could never be where I'm at financially as a doctorate nurse doing neonatal research, which is crazy sad compared to being in the entertainment industry. And I think that's just, these kids nowadays know, like, in order for you want me to come work a 9 to 5 for you, you better pay up, because I can go on TikTok and make 50 grand a year. So a lot of these kids, they're just like, they know their worth. They know what's available to them. They're not stupid.
Wow. So you're saying like maybe there should be an OnlyFans component to pre-med. Be like, look, if this doesn't work out, like, just know your angles, you know.
It's highly marketable. It's a high fetish. No, it's just, so that's a degree I'll never use. I mean, I have all this for nothing. I mean, I'm smart and I don't regret it. I actually was interested in it, but it is a really sad situation that someone that's saving lives every day doesn't even pull in enough to make a regular, I mean, you're talking 65 grand a year as a nurse. Like, that's not enough to live in most places in America. Really, a single person, absolutely, but to raise a family of 5, that's not going to cut it, you know?
Not in like New York City or something where rent is like, I mean, God, I was living with an old lady from Craigslist. The last apartment I lived in, 65-year-old woman from Craigslist, Susan, great lady, ate my food, kind of annoying. I was paying like $9.50 a month, but literally just for like one room. I couldn't use any of the other rooms in the apartment. It's fucking rent controlled. I had a feeling I was paying the whole thing myself, but it's fine. And what was the point of that? Yeah, it's just not enough. But usually if you want your own regular apartment and not to live with a stranger, it's probably like at least $25,000 or $3,000 a month in the city.
Right.
At this point.
Yeah. and possibly more in some places. Yeah, Florida and specifically is very high because everybody wants to be here. I feel for my kids and like our boys that are, older, they're feeling that, they're lucky they have each other though. They have a built-in roommate, but it's just, I think there's a lot of creative ways to make money now, especially in the digital age, that these businesses, I mean, you got to pay someone a damn good. I mean, it's legit. These kids can they could pop an affiliate code in their freaking TikTok and probably make 30, 40 grand a year. Like as a business, you got to offer these people a lot, so it's just interesting times, and it kind of sucks because it's taking away a lot of the good jobs, like good nurses, good pilots, good doctors, like are not there because we're like, okay, peace.
We're going to go do OnlyFans.
Go pop my pussy and just like
pussy pays more than piloting.
Yeah, but it's crazy. But I think at the end of the day, everybody's out for themselves. I mean, you want to do what's best for your family. And I mean, it's not as fulfilling as it was, obviously, no pun intended. It's quite fulfilling, but it's not as fulfilling as a nurse. But you only get one life. And I'm a big believer of just do what you got to do to make your life great today, tomorrow, and the next day. And that's my motto.
Get your bag.
Mm-hmm. Get your bag. Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's
people important. Are so quick to judge women who do OnlyFans, like, oh, you're a slut. No one's ever going to want you. No one's ever going to want to marry you. And it's like, what girls are thinking of is like, okay, I want to be able to financially take care of myself. And why would I put all my eggs in a basket for a man who will statistically probably cheat on me or leave me? So a lot of women are like, let me just get myself solid, which some would say, oh, that's really cynical. That's anti-romance. Like that's not, but that's honestly the reality, because I graduated college being like, okay, you got to take care of yourself. Don't depend on anybody. And like, I thought that was a good quality to have.
Yeah. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, I think a lot of people judge this, but it's like, sometimes when I do have people combat me with it, I'm like, you act like this is an extra $700-800 a month. Like, would I probably risk all I'm risking for a couple, even $1,000 or so a month? Probably not. We're talking life-changing money here. Like, I don't care what people say. If you're in that position and someone's telling you you're going to pull in this kind of money a month, like annual salaries a month, you're not turning a blind eye at that. You're going to tell me you're still worried about people's opinions. Well, then I feel bad for you, because I would worry about myself first. And I think that's the reality of it. I don't think people, and I would admit that I didn't believe it either. When I first started reading about these stories before I was in this industry, I thought that bitch is lying. Ain't nobody making that kind of money. I literally thought people were lying. I thought that's not true. Nobody makes that kind of money. That's like a millionaire. And I did not understand that how much money is out there. And so I think it's hard for people to grasp. We're not doing this for just some little I mean, this is like legit life-changing money. We're, like you said, setting ourselves up financially and buying properties and trying to set up our life,
Yeah.
For sure.
This is what's happening. All right. I drank a lot of beer.
Yeah, me too.
This is a great show.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
We tried a lot of beer, but more importantly, we bonded.
We did. It did turn into therapy. I knew it would. I knew it.
What's in this?
I hope the chat learned something today. I hope everybody feels like they grasped something. You know about beer. You learned about a lot of things.
We learned about beer, and we learned about a lot about shamanad dances and losing my virginity to a roadie in Rusted Root.
Taco Bell.
Oh my God. I have so many core memories of Taco Bell.
I literally might get it tonight. Like I might DoorDash that shit. Like it's
like no fast food makes me happy like Taco Bell. It's comforting.
Tacos are great. Tacos make me happy.
And when I eat Taco Bell, I don't even think about Mexico once. Like I forget that it's Hispanic food. Like I don't even know. I'm just like, there's Taco Bell and then there's everything else.
Oh, it's great.
This could be a commercial.
I know. Did they sponsor this episode?
No, but they should. If you're listening, Big Taco, I'm here for you.
I love it.
Allie, you're an absolute delight. Everyone should follow Allie at onlyallierae.com and on Instagram at @the Allie Rae. Where else can they follow you and what's coming up?
Yeah, so definitely if you hit up onlyallieray.com, you will find links to all my socials. I've got them all there and categorized nicely for you. Lots of fun things coming up. Definitely a lot of growth for Wet Space this year. We're very excited. We're growing daily with creators. We're very happy to be helping pioneer the crypto space. It's something very important to me, and I think it's the future of adult entertainment. So I'm so grateful you took the time to watch today, and thank you, Chrissy, for having me. You're so sweet. I appreciate it. And thank you for trusting me with your palate and trying all these lovely beers that I brought today.
I trust you with my palate and everything else. Yeah.
And so let me know with your next content house. Don't forget about me.
Yes, of course.
For
And
sure.
send us recommendations for more beers to try on our next beer stream.
For sure. Will do.
That's it. Thank you, chat. You guys were fun.
Thank you, chat. Appreciate it.
Pretty fun tonight. Pretty well behaved. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.